Marcus sat in the quiet classroom, staring at the piece of paper in his hands. His heart felt heavy. The final exam results were out, and he could not believe what he was seeing. A big red mark at the top of the page read fail. He had studied hard for weeks. He had spent long nights memorizing formulas, practicing essays, and reviewing notes. He had expected at least a passing grade, but this failure felt like a wall crashing down on him. He looked around the room. Students were chatting, smiling, and showing each other their results. Some were celebrating high scores. Marcus felt a mixture of shock and anger. Something did not feel right. He remembered each question on the exam. He knew he had answered most of them correctly. How could he fail? Marcus decided to approach his teacher, Mrs. Daniels. She was standing near the front desk, talking to other students. He walked carefully, trying to keep his emotions under control. "Mrs. Daniels, may I speak with you for a moment?" he asked politely. Mrs. Daniels looked at him with a soft smile. "Of course, Marcus. What is it?" He handed her the exam paper. "I think there might be a mistake. I studied a lot, and I remember my answers being correct. Can you please check it again?" Mrs. Daniels took the paper and scanned it. She raised her eyebrows slightly but did not say anything. "I will review it and let you know," she said calmly. Marcus nodded and left, feeling a mix of hope and worry. That evening, Marcus could not focus on anything. He tried to read his favorite book, but his mind kept returning to the exam. He replayed the questions in his head. Every answer seemed right. He could not understand why he failed. He thought about the test center, the way papers were collected, and even the way the results were published. Something felt off. The next day, Marcus met his friends at the school cafeteria. "Did you see the results?" he asked, trying to sound normal. "Yes, I passed," said David, holding his paper proudly. "How about you?" Marcus hesitated before showing his paper. David looked at it and frowned. "Wait, this doesn't make sense. You are always at the top in class. You study more than anyone. How could this happen?" "I don't know," Marcus replied. "I am going to talk to Mrs. Daniels again. Something is wrong." A few hours later, he returned to Mrs. Daniels' office. She had reviewed the paper. "Marcus, I looked at your exam again," she said quietly. "I cannot see any reason for this grade. Your answers seem correct. I am surprised too." Marcus felt a rush of relief and anger at the same time. "Then why did I fail? Someone must have made a mistake when entering my grade." Mrs. Daniels nodded. "I will speak to the administration. We will find out what happened." Despite her support, Marcus could not stop thinking. He remembered seeing a few students lingering near the exam papers after they were collected. Could someone have tampered with his paper? The thought made his stomach twist. He knew he needed to find the truth. That evening, Marcus sat at his desk at home. He decided he would not just wait for answers. He would check everything himself. He made a list of all the steps he could take, review his exam questions, talk to students who were near the papers, and gather any proof that something was wrong. He knew it would not be easy, but he could not let an unfair grade destroy his future. As he planned his next steps, Marcus felt a spark of determination. He had always believed in hard work and honesty. Now, he would need to use both to uncover the truth. This was more than just a test result. It was a challenge to his courage and intelligence. Marcus knew he was ready to face it. He looked out the window and saw the sun setting behind the school building. Tomorrow, his journey to prove himself would begin. He felt nervous but determined. No mistake, no accident, and no unfairness would stop him from finding the truth. Marcus was ready for what came next. The next morning, Marcus arrived at school earlier than usual. He wanted to watch carefully what was happening in the classrooms and near the administration office. He felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. If someone had made a mistake or changed his grade, he needed to find the proof. As he walked through the school hallway, he saw students chatting and laughing, unaware of his worry. Marcus tried to focus, noticing who went in and out of the exam storage room the previous day. He remembered small details, the way the door to the room had been slightly open and how a few students had lingered nearby. He made a mental note to talk to them later. First, Marcus went to the library. He knew he could use the quiet space to review his study materials and compare them with the exam questions. Sitting at a long table, he opened his notebook and started reviewing each answer. He wrote down the questions from memory and checked each one carefully. Every answer he had given matched the correct solutions. He felt a rush of frustration. How could he have failed when everything he did was right? This thought gave him determination. He needed to find the missing piece of the puzzle. During lunch, Marcus saw one of his classmates, Leon, sitting alone. Leon had been near the exam papers when they were collected. Marcus approached him carefully. "Hi Leon," Marcus said. "Can I talk to you for a moment?" Leon looked nervous but nodded. "Sure, Marcus. What is it?" Marcus sat across from him. "I want to ask about the exam yesterday. Did you notice anything unusual when the papers were collected?" Leon hesitated and looked around, as if afraid someone might be listening. "Well, I saw a student near the teacher's desk after everyone had left. I think he tried to look at the papers. I'm not sure exactly what he did, but it did not feel right." Marcus's heart beat faster. This was the first real clue he had. "Do you know who it was?" he asked carefully. Leon shook his head. "No, I didn't see the face clearly. But maybe you can check with someone who works in the office. They might have seen him." Marcus thanked Leon and decided his next step. He would go to the administration office after school. If anyone had seen someone suspicious near the exam papers, he needed their statement. The rest of the day felt long. Marcus kept thinking about the mysterious student Leon had mentioned. He imagined the possibility that someone had tampered with his exam paper. The thought made him more determined to act quickly. Finally, the school bell rang. Marcus walked to the administration office with a steady but determined pace. Mrs. Thompson, the secretary, looked up from her desk. "Hello, Marcus. What brings you here?" she asked kindly. "I want to ask about the final exam papers," Marcus said. "I think there might be a mistake with my grade, and I need to check if anyone saw something unusual when the papers were collected." Mrs. Thompson paused, thinking carefully. "Well, I did see a student near the teacher's desk after the exams were collected," she said. "He did not belong there. I thought it was strange at the time. I did not think it was serious, but now that you mention it, it could be important." Marcus's eyes widened. "Can you tell me more about him?" Mrs. Thompson shook her head. "I didn't get a clear look. He wore a cap and left quickly when he saw me. I can check the security camera footage if you want." Marcus nodded eagerly. "Please, that would be very helpful." Mrs. Thompson smiled. "I will do that tomorrow. Right now, you can wait here for a few minutes. I want to make sure everything is ready." Marcus sat in the office, thinking about the next steps. He knew the security footage might reveal the identity of the student. This could be the key to proving his grade was changed unfairly. He felt a mixture of excitement and worry. He did not know what he would see, but he was ready to face it. As he left the office, Marcus felt a small sense of hope. For the first time since seeing his failed result, he believed that the truth could be uncovered. He promised himself that he would not give up until he had answers. That evening, Marcus reviewed his notes again. He made a timeline of what had happened during the exam collection. He marked every detail that seemed unusual. Each observation made him more confident that someone had interfered with his paper. Marcus looked at his reflection in the mirror. His eyes were determined, and his jaw was set. He knew the coming days would be challenging, but he was ready. The unfair grade had become more than a test result. It was a challenge to his honesty, courage, and persistence. Marcus knew he could not back down. He would find the truth no matter what it took. The next morning, Marcus walked to school with a sense of purpose. He felt more confident after speaking to Mrs. Thompson, the secretary, and hearing about the suspicious student near the exam papers. Today, he planned to gather support from friends and a few teachers he trusted. He knew he could not fight this alone. During the first break, Marcus met his friends, Leanne and Sarah, near the school courtyard. "I need your help," Marcus said quietly. "Something strange happened with my exam. I failed, but I think my grade was changed unfairly." Leanne raised his eyebrows. "That sounds serious. What do you want us to do?" "I want to gather information and check if anyone saw anything unusual when the exam papers were collected. I also want to check if the security footage shows the student who was near the papers," Marcus explained. Sarah nodded. "We can help. I remember a few students talking about someone hanging around the classrooms yesterday. Maybe they can give more information." The three of them made a plan. During the next classes, they discreetly asked classmates if they had seen anything unusual. Some students shook their heads, but a few remembered seeing a student acting strangely near the teacher's desk. One student said, he had a black cap and walked away fast when Mrs. Thompson saw him. Another added, "I think he was trying to look at someone's paper." Marcus wrote everything down. Each detail made him feel closer to the truth. He knew these statements alone were not enough, but combined with the security footage, they could be strong evidence. Later, Marcus decided to talk to Mr. Patel, his favorite teacher. Mr. Patel was known for being fair and honest. Marcus waited until the end of class and then approached him. "Mr. Patel, can I speak with you about my exam?" Marcus asked politely. Mr. Patel smiled. "Of course, Marcus. What happened?" Marcus explained everything: his study efforts, the unexpected failing grade, the strange student near the exam papers, and the statements from classmates. Mr. Patel listened carefully, nodding at each point. "This is serious," Mr. Patel said after Marcus finished. "If someone tampered with your paper, it must be addressed. I will support you. I can also speak to the administration and make sure the security footage is reviewed carefully." Marcus felt a rush of relief. He had feared facing this challenge alone, but now he had allies. Together, they could uncover the truth. After school, Marcus, Leanne, and Sarah returned to the administration office. Mrs. Thompson had already reviewed the security cameras from the previous day. She motioned them over. "Here is the footage," she said. "Look carefully." Marcus leaned forward, eyes fixed on the screen. The video showed students handing in their papers. Most left quietly, but then a figure wearing a black cap approached the teacher's desk. He looked around nervously and then touched a few papers before moving away. Marcus's heart raced. This was the person Leon and others had seen. "Do you see him?" Marcus asked Mrs. Thompson. "Yes," she said. "I did not recognize him at first, but now it is clear he was not supposed to be there." Marcus paused the video and pointed. "This is the student who interfered with the exams. I need to find out who he is and how he changed my grade." Mrs. Thompson nodded. "I can give you the time he was in the office. Maybe teachers or other staff can help identify him." Marcus thanked her and left the office with Leanne and Sarah. They walked to the classroom where the exams had been collected. Marcus carefully asked the teacher, Mr. Harris, if he had noticed anyone unusual. Mr. Harris remembered seeing a student lingering near the desk but had assumed it was not important. Now, with the video evidence, he promised to help Marcus identify the student. That evening, Marcus reviewed all the notes, witness statements, and the video stills. He made a clear plan. Tomorrow, he would meet Mr. Patel and go together to the school board. He needed to present everything logically and clearly. Marcus knew that staying calm and focused was important. Anger or frustration could make the adults doubt him. Marcus felt proud of his effort so far. He had turned confusion and shock into determination and action. He understood that finding the truth required patience, careful observation, and the support of honest people. Before going to bed, Marcus wrote in his journal. He described each step he had taken and noted what he would do next. He ended the entry with a promise to himself: he would not let an unfair grade destroy his future. Justice mattered more than fear. Marcus felt confident that tomorrow, the truth would begin to reveal itself. The next morning, Marcus arrived at school with a clear plan. He felt more determined than ever. With the support of Leanne, Sarah, and Mr. Patel, he was ready to take the next step in uncovering the truth. Today, he would gather more evidence and prepare for presenting everything to the school board. During the first class, Marcus quietly observed the students and teachers. He noticed that some students who had been near the exam papers seemed nervous. Marcus made a mental note to speak with them later. After class, he met Leanne and Sarah in the courtyard. "We need to find more proof that someone tampered with the exams," Marcus said. "The video and witness statements are strong, but the school board will want clear evidence." Leanne nodded. "Maybe we can check if any other students had unusual grades. If the same student interfered with more papers, there could be a pattern." Sarah agreed. "And we should ask if any teacher noticed missing or moved papers. Every detail counts." The three of them went to the library and carefully reviewed the grade list for the class. Marcus noticed that one or two students had grades that did not match their usual performance. He marked these names and decided to speak to those students discreetly. During lunch, Marcus approached a student named Kevin. Kevin had failed a subject he usually did well in. Marcus asked politely, "Kevin, can I ask you something? Did you notice anything strange during the exam collection?" Kevin looked nervous but nodded. "Yes, someone tried to look at my paper. I thought it was just a mistake, so I did not tell anyone. But now that you mention it, it could be connected." Marcus felt a rush of hope. "Thank you, Kevin. Your information can help us find the truth." After school, Marcus met Mr. Patel in his classroom. Together, they reviewed all the evidence collected so far: witness statements, security footage, and unusual grade patterns. Mr. Patel helped Marcus organize the information clearly. "Marcus, the key is to present everything logically," Mr. Patel said. "Start with the facts you know, then show the evidence. Be calm and confident. The board will take you seriously if you are prepared." Marcus nodded, feeling more confident. He had spent days preparing for this moment. The unfair grade was no longer just his problem, it had become a challenge to fairness and honesty in the school. The next day, Marcus, Leanne, and Sarah went to the administration office again. Mrs. Thompson had identified the time the suspicious student had been near the exam papers. She also noted which other students had been affected. Marcus reviewed the list carefully. He realized that the student who interfered had targeted several papers, not just his. The pattern made it clear that this was not a random mistake. Someone had deliberately changed the results. Marcus and Mr. Patel scheduled a meeting with the school board for the following morning. Marcus felt nervous, but Mr. Patel reminded him, "You have done the right thing. Present the facts and the evidence. The truth will speak for itself." That evening, Marcus could hardly sleep. He reviewed every detail one more time: the names of the students affected, the witness statements, the video footage, and the unusual grade patterns. He practiced explaining everything clearly. He knew that confidence and clarity were as important as the evidence itself. The next morning, Marcus walked into the boardroom with Mr. Patel. Members of the school board were already seated, waiting for them. Marcus felt a mixture of fear and determination. He took a deep breath and began. "Good morning," Marcus said politely. "I am here to show that my final exam grade was changed unfairly. I have evidence that a student interfered with the exam papers, including mine. I also have witness statements, security footage, and a list of other students affected." He presented the evidence step by step. The board members listened carefully, watching the video, reading the witness statements, and noting the unusual grade patterns. Marcus spoke clearly and calmly, showing his determination and honesty. When he finished, Mr. Patel added, "Marcus has gathered all this information carefully and honestly. It is clear that someone tampered with the exam papers, and the school needs to investigate and correct the grades." The board members nodded and took notes. They asked questions about the timeline, the witnesses, and the security footage. Marcus answered each question confidently. After the meeting, Marcus felt a sense of relief. The board promised to investigate further and ensure that justice was done. Marcus knew that the final outcome was not yet decided, but he felt proud of his effort. He had turned a shocking failure into an opportunity to uncover the truth. As he walked home with Leanne and Sarah, Marcus felt a mix of hope and determination. Tomorrow, the investigation would continue, and the truth would be revealed. Marcus knew that honesty, hard work, and courage had brought him this far, and he was ready to face whatever came next. The next morning, Marcus arrived at school feeling a mix of nervousness and hope. The board had promised to investigate, and he knew today could bring important answers. He met Leanne and Sarah near the entrance. "Today might be the day we find out who changed the exams," Marcus said. Leanne smiled. "We are with you. Let's make sure we pay attention to every detail." Their first stop was the administration office. Mrs. Thompson greeted them with a serious expression. "The board has reviewed the security footage again," she said. "They noticed something important. The student who interfered with the papers returned to the office twice, not just once. This could explain why several students had unexpected grades." Marcus leaned closer. "Do you know who it is?" Mrs. Thompson shook her head. "Not yet. But we have a clear image of the student's face. We will show it to teachers and students to identify him." Marcus felt his heart race. This could finally lead to the truth. He, Leanne, and Sarah went to the classrooms to show the image to students who had been near the office. Some shook their heads, but then a student named Ryan gasped. "I know him," Ryan said. "He is in my class. His name is Daniel. He always wanted to be at the top, even if it meant cheating." Marcus felt a mixture of shock and relief. Finally, they had a name. He thanked Ryan and quickly wrote down everything. "We have to tell Mr. Patel," Marcus said. Mr. Patel met them in his classroom. When he heard the name, he nodded. "This is important information. The board will want to speak with Daniel immediately. This could explain the grade changes and prove that it was deliberate." Later that day, the school board called Marcus, Daniel, and their teachers into a meeting room. Daniel looked nervous and avoided eye contact. The board played the security footage showing him near the exam papers and noted the students affected by his interference. "Daniel," one of the board members said firmly, "we have evidence that you accessed exam papers that were not yours. This includes multiple students' papers, including Marcus's. Do you want to explain?" Daniel's face turned red. He tried to speak, but no words came out clearly. Marcus felt a wave of emotions. He had worked so hard, and now the truth was finally being revealed. The board reviewed all evidence carefully. Marcus watched as they connected the dots, the unusual grades, the witness statements, the security footage, and Daniel's actions. Everything pointed to the same conclusion. Marcus had been treated unfairly, and Daniel had deliberately changed his grade. After the board made their decision, they called Marcus forward. "Marcus," one member said kindly, "we have reviewed everything. Your exam grade will be corrected immediately. We apologize for the mistake and for the unfair treatment you received." Marcus felt a huge sense of relief and joy. All the hard work, determination, and honesty had paid off. He smiled at Leanne, Sarah, and Mr. Patel, who all nodded proudly. The board then addressed Daniel. "Daniel, your actions violated school rules and honesty standards. You will face consequences, and you must accept responsibility for what you did." Daniel lowered his head. Marcus felt no anger toward him. He understood that some people make wrong choices, but honesty and effort always matter. After the meeting, Marcus walked out with Leanne and Sarah. He felt lighter than he had in weeks. The unfair grade that had shocked him was corrected, and the truth was clear. He had faced a challenge, and he had not given up. That evening, Marcus returned home and sat at his desk. He looked at his corrected exam paper, now marked fairly. The red fail was gone, replaced with a grade he deserved. He smiled and wrote in his journal about everything he had learned. Persistence, courage, and honesty always lead to justice. Marcus realized that this experience had taught him more than any exam ever could. He had learned to trust his instincts, gather facts, ask for help, and remain calm in difficult situations. The unfair grade had been a test not only of knowledge but of character. The next day at school, Marcus's friends congratulated him. Teachers praised his honesty and determination. Even students who had doubted him before admired his courage. Marcus felt proud, not just for getting the grade corrected, but for standing up for what was right. As he walked home, Marcus looked at the sky. The sun was shining, and he felt ready for the future. He knew challenges would come, but he also knew that with honesty, courage, and effort, he could overcome anything. The truth had been revealed, and justice had been served. Marcus smiled. He had faced a shocking failure, challenged it with courage, and discovered the truth. The experience had changed him, making him stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever came next. The following morning, Marcus arrived at school with a quiet excitement. After the investigation, the school board had called another meeting to finalize the results and confirm all corrected grades. Marcus knew this would be the day when everything would be officially resolved. He met Leanne and Sarah near the courtyard. "Today is it," Marcus said, feeling nervous but calm. "We will see the final outcome." They walked together toward the administration building. Inside, the boardroom was filled with teachers, students, and a few members of the administration. The atmosphere was serious but respectful. Marcus noticed Daniel sitting quietly in the corner, looking uneasy. The board began the meeting by reviewing the investigation once more. They showed the video footage of Daniel near the exam papers, read the witness statements, and highlighted the unusual grade patterns. Everyone could see the clear evidence of what had happened. One board member turned to Marcus. "Marcus, you have shown honesty, persistence, and courage throughout this process. We are proud of how you handled this situation. Your grade will be officially corrected, and all records will reflect your true performance." Marcus felt a surge of relief and pride. He had faced an unfair situation and never gave up. Now, the truth was recognized, and justice was being done. The board then addressed Daniel. "Daniel, your actions disrupted the fairness of our exams. You will face disciplinary actions according to school rules. You must accept responsibility for your behavior and learn from this experience." Daniel lowered his head and nodded. Marcus did not feel anger toward him. He understood that everyone makes mistakes, but it was important to own up and learn from them. After the board finalized the results, Marcus was called to the front. He received his corrected exam paper and saw his actual grade. It reflected his hard work and effort. He smiled, feeling proud and relieved. Teachers approached Marcus one by one, congratulating him. Mr. Patel smiled warmly. "I am very proud of you, Marcus. You showed determination and honesty. These qualities are more important than any grade." Leanne and Sarah cheered quietly, happy for their friend. Other students who had witnessed the events also came forward to congratulate Marcus. Some expressed admiration for his courage and patience. Later, Marcus walked through the halls of the school, holding his corrected paper. Students whispered and smiled, recognizing his effort and determination. Marcus realized that standing up for the truth had not only corrected an unfair grade but also earned him respect and trust from others. During lunch, Marcus and his friends sat together. "I still cannot believe it," Leanne said. "You turned a failure into a lesson for everyone." Marcus nodded. "I just wanted the truth. I never gave up, and now everything is clear. It feels amazing to see fairness restored." Sarah added, "You have shown everyone that courage and honesty matter more than anything. I am proud of you." Marcus smiled at his friends. He knew he could not have done it alone. Their support, Mr. Patel's guidance, and careful observation of every detail had made a difference. After school, Marcus returned to the classroom where the exams had been collected. He looked at the teacher's desk and remembered the moment when he first realized something was wrong. It felt like a long journey, but he had stayed patient and persistent. He thought about the lessons he had learned, the importance of honesty, the value of asking for help, and the need to stay calm and focused when facing challenges. Marcus knew that life would continue to present obstacles, but he now understood that courage and determination could overcome almost anything. That evening, Marcus sat at his desk at home. He placed his corrected exam paper carefully on top of his notebook. He wrote in his journal about the experience, describing how he had faced unfairness, gathered evidence, and presented the truth. He reflected on how much he had grown through the challenge. Marcus realized that this experience was more than just about a grade. It had taught him the value of integrity, persistence, and courage. He felt confident that these qualities would help him in the future, both in school and in life. As he closed his journal, Marcus smiled and looked out of his window. The sun was setting, and the sky was calm and bright. He felt a deep sense of satisfaction and peace. He had faced a shocking failure, challenged it with honesty and courage, and discovered the truth. Marcus knew that he had not only corrected an unfair grade but had also learned an important lesson about life. He was ready to face the future with confidence, knowing that determination and honesty would guide him through any challenge. The next morning, Marcus walked into school feeling lighter than he had in weeks. The corrected grade had been officially recorded, and the investigation was complete. The experience had changed him, and he felt proud of how he had handled everything. As he entered the courtyard, he saw students whispering and pointing, but this time it was different. Instead of curiosity or doubt, there was respect. Marcus smiled at Leanne and Sarah, who were waiting for him. "It feels good to finally have everything resolved," he said. Leanne nodded. "You not only got your grade back, but you also showed everyone the importance of honesty and courage." During the first period, Marcus's teacher, Mr. Patel, spoke to the class. "Today, I want to recognize Marcus for his determination and integrity," he said. "He faced a challenge that was unfair and difficult, but he handled it with honesty, patience, and courage. His actions remind us all that standing up for what is right matters more than anything else." Marcus felt his cheeks warm as students clapped quietly. Some of the students who had doubted him before now looked at him with admiration. He realized that the respect he had earned was more valuable than any grade or recognition. After class, Marcus visited the administration office. Mrs. Thompson smiled warmly. "Marcus, the board, and the teachers are very impressed. They said your efforts have set an example for everyone. You turned a difficult situation into a lesson for the whole school. Marcus felt a sense of pride and relief. He thanked her and left the office, walking through the halls with renewed confidence. He knew that the experience had taught him something important: fairness and truth are worth fighting for, no matter how challenging the path may seem. During lunch, Marcus sat with Leanne and Sarah, sharing the story of the investigation with other students who had been affected. Kevin and Ryan joined them, grateful for Marcus's determination to uncover the truth. Together, they talked about the importance of honesty and how one person's courage could inspire others. Marcus also noticed Daniel sitting quietly in the cafeteria. He decided to approach him. "Daniel," Marcus said gently, "I hope you learned from this. Everyone makes mistakes, but it is important to be honest and responsible." Daniel looked at him, nodding silently. Marcus felt no anger, only hope that Daniel would make better choices in the future. After school, Marcus went to the classroom where the exams had been collected. He looked at the desk and remembered the long journey that had started with a shocking fail grade. He thought about all the steps he had taken: gathering evidence, speaking to classmates, reviewing the video, and working with teachers. Every moment had taught him patience, persistence, and courage. That evening, Marcus returned home and sat at his desk. He placed his corrected exam paper carefully on top of his notebook. He wrote in his journal about the entire experience, reflecting on what he had learned. He wrote about the value of honesty, the importance of standing up for the truth, and the courage it takes to face challenges. Marcus smiled as he closed his journal. He felt stronger and wiser. He knew that life would continue to bring challenges, but he now understood that determination, honesty, and careful effort could overcome almost anything. The next day, Marcus returned to school feeling confident and motivated. His teachers praised him quietly in the hallways, and students greeted him with respect. Marcus realized that this experience had not only corrected an unfair grade but had also made him a role model. During the final assembly of the semester, the principal spoke to the students about honesty, responsibility, and courage. He mentioned Marcus's example, describing how one student's determination and integrity helped correct a wrong and inspired the entire school. Marcus listened quietly, feeling proud but humble. As the assembly ended, Marcus walked outside into the bright afternoon sunlight. He looked at the sky and felt a sense of accomplishment. The shocking fail grade that had caused so much worry and stress had led him on a journey of discovery, courage, and growth. Marcus realized that success was not just about grades. It was about integrity, persistence, and the willingness to stand up for what is right. He felt ready for any challenge the future might bring. With Leanne and Sarah walking beside him, Marcus smiled. The journey was over, the truth had been revealed, and justice had been served. He had faced an unfair challenge, discovered the truth, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever. Marcus knew that he would carry this lesson for the rest of his life: honesty, courage, and determination always lead to the right outcome. He felt proud, grateful, and ready to face the future with confidence and hope.